Hello, my name is Craig Astor and I live in Hodgenville, and I'm running for U.S. Congress here in the Kentucky 2nd District. I would like to start by telling you that I am not at war. As a libertarian, I am not at war with my Democratic or Republican opponents. As a small business owner and a Teamster aircraft mechanic for UPS, I am not at war with organized labor, corporations, or those who want a right to work. As an ordained minister, though disappointed with those who would use God for their own political advantage, I am not at war with the ACLU or the political religious groups. As a husband of 27 years, father of 4, and a soon-to-be grandfather, I am not at war with the traditional view of marriage or those who want equal rights for all. What I am at war with is ignorance, sickness, poverty, and war itself, the common enemies of all mankind. After the recent infomercials of the Democratic and Republican national conventions, I have come to believe that we are living under the failed policies of the two big parties. This did not come about under one administration or from one party. We are suffering from a failure of both parties putting politics before we the people. The Democrats and Republicans each want to push their same partisan plans while shifting the blame and pointing fingers. To borrow a quote from John F. Kennedy, we do not need a Democratic or Republican plan, we need an American plan. The main reason I am running for Congress is because the two parties have failed the American people. Often the elected officials from the old parties are beholden to some pledge or promise made to a special interest group who in turn puts large contributions into their campaigns. This keeps politicians working for those groups and not for the people. They seem to only want to protect their special projects instead of coming together, working together on common sense solutions in the interests of the people. All the while, the two old parties keep us divided over hot-button sideshow issues to keep us distracted while they use our tax dollars to serve their own political agenda, funneling millions of dollars into the coffers of the selected elite. I believe we can do better, and for the sake of our children and grandchildren, we must do better. We do not need a Democratic or Republican plan of partisanship and plunder. We need an American plan. We do not need an economic policy that only lifts the big ships in the harbor with the hope of trickling down to the smaller boats. We need a plan where the rising tide lifts all boats in the harbor of open competition, whether of corporations, small businesses, or of the hard-working men and women of America. We should not be giving the too-big-to-fail banks or the unproven green energy companies a multi-billion-dollar gift from the U.S. taxpayers, which takes from the many to enrich the few. Both old parties continue to raise the debt ceiling, sentencing our grandchildren to a lifetime of debt paying off these failed TARP and stimulus plans. This is not right. This cannot continue. This cannot be sustained. We need an American plan that puts Americans first before the special interests and big money that manipulates the two-party system. Those stimulus plans had a terrible effect on our small businesses. Our local merchants now have to compete against products that are cheaper than before. They did not receive a bailout, their competitors did. Combined with ever-changing, unnecessary and burdensome regulations from both Democrats and Republicans, our small businesses have suffered. Meanwhile, big businesses get tax breaks and exemptions from the regulations that cripple our small businesses. They come into our communities given the promise of tax breaks and subsidies. They feed off our communities until the tax breaks end, and then they leave. Small businesses are the cornerstone of our communities. They are the people of the community who have their entire life invested in a venture to provide goods and services to the rest of the community. And even more importantly, small businesses are critical in the process of recovering from this recession. Small businesses take the lead by taking risks. They invest in their community when no one else can or will. And small businesses do not outsource to China and Mexico. They hire local people from the community. Small businesses are what we need now more than ever. We do not need a Democratic or Republican plan of more regulations for small businesses and more tax breaks for big businesses. We need an American plan. And the government does not stop with the affront on small businesses. Our personal rights have suffered as well. The largest example to date was the recent National Defense Authorization Act, which created a power for the government to incarcerate American citizens without trial, without due process. This bill was supported by both Republicans and Democrats. Thankfully, a judge ruled recently that permanently suspends that provision of the law. But another big example, which has not been stopped by a judge, is the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act created, among other things, the TSA that strip searches babies, 4, 5, 6-year-old children, and our elderly. We do not need a Democratic or Republican plan of more big brother policies passed under the auspices of protecting us at the expense of our freedoms. We need an American plan. And what about our ongoing war on terror? I do not want to detract from what our patriotic men and women in uniform do for us. They sign up to defend this country and our way of life. I thank each and every one, those who have served in the past or those who are currently serving. Let us honor them by only deploying them into foreign hostilities with a constitutional declaration of war by Congress, with clearly defined objectives and guidelines that allows for success and an expedient end to the conflict. Should we continue to spend trillions of dollars on war and foreign aid to build other countries? Or should we spend that money here at home investing in the future of our children in education, energy independence, and fixing our own infrastructure? We do not need a Democratic or Republican plan of more wars with no end in sight. We need an American plan. So what is this American plan that I offer? First, I refuse to be corrupted. I have committed to spend less than $5,000 on my campaign because I believe big money has corrupted the political process here in America. I will not sign pledges from special interest groups in order to take their campaign donations. I am not beholden to those people. I am not obligated to pay them back with your tax dollars. I will not create special rules for them. I will stand for liberty and freedom, whether it is in the courthouse, the church house, the schoolhouse, or your house. I will not tell you how to live your life or how and what to believe. I will go to Washington as your representative to protect your constitutional and civil rights and to protect your wallet. I will support the policy of true national defense, a policy of walk softly but carry a big stick. I will respect all nations and people, acknowledging that all people have inalienable rights to life, liberty, property, privacy, and the pursuit of their own happiness as long as they do not infringe upon the rights of others. I will work to get Congress to find the objectives in our current wars and to start an orderly withdrawal from nations that neither want us there or where we should not be. I will work to create an environment that rewards investments, entrepreneurship, hard work, and productivity. I will propose an exemption for small businesses from payroll withholdings to stimulate and resuscitate small businesses, to create jobs, and to begin the real economic recovery right here in our communities. I will not forsake the obligations we've made to the elderly, to our veterans, and to those who are less fortunate. I will insist that politicians take pay cuts and cuts in their own benefits first before they cut the pay and benefits of the people they represent. And most importantly, I will work to make the playing field level for all businesses, big or small, so Americans can get back to work and experience the American dream again. We can do better. We must do better. This is what I propose. It's not a Democratic or Republican plan. What I propose is an American plan. Once again, I thank you for taking time to viewing this video. We won't always agree on the little stuff. After 27 years, my wife and I still do not agree always. But let us agree on the big stuff. Our leaders have failed us. Please take a moment and look at my website at craigastor.com. If you still believe that our country should have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. If you believe, as I do, that the Democrat and Republican plans have failed America, if you believe we need an American plan, then I ask for your support. I ask you to please be my radio and television commercial that I cannot buy. Tell others about my campaign and website. And I ask for your vote on November 6th. Thank you, and God bless you, and may God bless America.